Hey, this is Mark for TechStrats.com. Today we're going to be starting a new series called Building Your Own Home Network. It's important that you understand conceptually what's going on from a top-down view. I'm using this diagram in the video so that you can kind of understand what exactly is going on, the internet connecting to the modem, then the modem connecting to the router, and then all the devices themselves get connected to the router. And hopefully this helps you break the habit of using references to pipes and tubes when you're talking about the internet. Obviously, our government has a problem with using those metaphors, and it doesn't exactly pan out the more advanced that you get into the networking field. In a typical home user network, or workgroup as Microsoft likes to call it, we'll be starting with an internet connection brought down to the home by an internet service provider, or ISP for short. Now the problem is that we have multiple devices that we want to connect to the internet. So if your ISP doesn't provide you with additional services, you'll need to purchase a router. I think most of them are wireless by now. If not, that's okay too. You can connect all your devices except for phones and stuff like that via Cat5 cable. So basically, like, the router's role in this situation is basically to control where traffic gets sent and received. If you want to think of it in terms of directly plugging a computer into a modem, there's really no way to share one connection, so you have to have a device that allows you to share those connections, which is exactly what the router aims to do in this situation. Typically, your router comes with instructions on how it's supposed to be configured before you actually use it, but more often than not, these directions leave out solid need-to-know information that'll help you secure your network. Obviously, we have issues with other people mooching off each other's wireless, other people stealing each other's internet connection, using it for malicious purposes. Hopefully in a later segment, I'll get around to showing you how to create a guest network, because ideally if you have friends or neighbors that come over to your house, you don't want them mooching off of your wireless. And certainly if you use the same password as you do, for other things, which I don't recommend you do, you don't want to give that password out. And another example I can give you is that if your neighbor or some person comes over to your house and they don't realize they have a virus on their laptop, the virus could, although I've rarely seen it, spread to other devices on your network, which poses a problem for you. The router that I'm using is just a standard Linksys E3000. It's one of the more expensive models, but Linksys tends to keep all their management software the same. There are other brands such as Netgear and D-Link, which undoubtedly have different configurations, but hopefully I'll be able to highlight the similarities and you can kind of figure out where to go using the options that I'm setting. The first thing that we'll want to do is plug in our device, but we don't want to connect it to the internet just yet, or the modem rather. We want to try and figure out some security settings that we'd like to use first, configure those security settings, and then go ahead and connect our device to the modem. If some of this stuff sounds a little too advanced, don't worry about it. Hopefully I'll get a chance to upload another segment that covers finer details of routers and networking so that you can understand exactly where we're coming from. I kind of believe in a layered security aspect, so a lot of the stuff that I'm presenting to you will be applied in that approach.